Hey everyone. Okay, so I haven't watched the movie yet, but I have some thoughts. Yes, I have more thoughts. Just a quick little video here to tell you some thoughts about the finale of Code Geass that we watched last week. And to introduce cheese-kun! Look at this cheesy guy. Isn't he great? Lord Cheese-sama. Cheese-kun. His cheesiness. The rightful ruler of Britannia. I firmly believe that he became the 100th ruler of Britannia after Lelouch. What do you think? What do you think, Cheese-kun? I couldn't have said it any better. Look how large and lumpy he is. And his little hat. He's literally my favorite. He cost me $30 or so and about 5 days. Yes, that's right. Lord Cheese-sama is one of a kind. I handmade him myself because I wasn't going to go to eBay and spend $50 on a cheese plushie. So I spent $30 and spent 5 days making him myself. Is that what they call girl math? Anyway, it's been 2 weeks since I've seen the episode, and I'm still sad. It is really sad. I have loved your guys' activity on my latest video. You guys just all have come out of the woodwork to tell me. And I've never had the comment section so united. A combination of people thanking me. You guys are thanking me for watching the show. That's really cool. People saying, all hail Lelouch. And people saying that they also cried at the ending. And that it's one of the greatest endings of all time. And you know what? I have been thinking about it, and I kind of got to agree. There are few anime that have this good of an ending where all the strings get tied up. There are no loose plot holes that I can think of. I do have a couple questions at the end, but for the most part, anime is not known for having a good ending. And this one, I would say it's up there with like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Fruits Basket in my mind. Those both have fantastic endings. I know Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is just known to have one of the best endings in anime. It is like perfection, the show is. I don't know if many people, though, know about Fruits Basket and how great of an ending that one has as well. There's a reason why that one is in my top list of favorites, like favorite anime, period. It's so well done. But man, I wish I could like go back now at this point and rewatch the whole show. And some of you are probably like, well, you can just do it. Well, we've got other stuff to get to. I'm going on vacation soon, and then Christmas is coming. And one does not simply have enough time to rewatch Code Geass. But I feel like it would be a good one to watch with somebody. I definitely can see myself rewatching again someday. Just probably won't be anytime soon. But I will still be watching the movie. I know a lot of you in the comments said that you did not like the movie, that I should not watch the movie, that it will ruin it for me. And I get that. I get your hesitancy. I'm still going to watch it. And I'm going to consider it as like fan fiction in my mind, like an alternate multiverse, another universe. I am curious to see kind of what they do with some of the characters. Because I do love the characters. And so, you want to spend more time with them. I could just ramble here for 10 more minutes, but I do have a couple of actual points that I wanted to bring up and things I wanted to say, questions that I had. Again, I did not realize where the ending was going until the last couple of episodes. I started to get a feeling, like an inkling of where it could be going. But of course, my outward expression and reaction was that of like horror, abject horror, and like disdain for Lelouch and what he was doing and who he had turned into. But in the back of my mind, it was there wondering, like, is this really going where I think it could be going? And it did. And I really appreciated that a few of you in the comments, you juxtaposed Lelouch and Suzaku with one another, saying that they each had to pay for their crimes in a very similar but opposite way, in that Lelouch, who wanted to live, had to die, and Suzaku, who wanted to die, had to live. But in a sense, he kind of did die. Like, he has a grave. And I wonder now, does he have to live as the masked hero Zero forever now? Can he ever reveal his identity? So in a sense, he has died. Suzaku has died. And now he must live on as Zero. So therefore, he has to be alone too, because nobody knows who he is. Except I will say that I wonder if Nunnally knows. And I wonder if she figured it out. Did anybody else in that final scene when she reaches out and touches Lelouch, the way that scene was set up, it almost seemed to say to me that she saw those memories when she touched Lelouch. When she touched him and we saw the flashback and we see like this realization kind of come into her mind. Is that because she saw those memories? Or was it just in that moment she kind of pieced it together and put two and two together? And if she pieced it together and figured it out, which it seems like she did, then she would have a pretty good guess as to who Zero was and that it was Suzaku and that Suzaku was not dead. Again, she's very intuitive. I feel like she would figure it out. And it's interesting to me how earlier in the series, when Suzaku became Yuffie's knight, Lelouch had just decided that he wanted Suzaku to be next to Nunnally and to protect her. And it's interesting that that's what winds up happening. Suzaku winds up being the one to protect Nunnally and be by her side. I thought that was a really interesting callback. Another question I have for that final moment as Zero, Suzaku, was charging Lelouch. Why did Jeremiah say onward to him and let him pass? He knew what was going to happen. He was in on the Zero Requiem. I didn't think anybody else knew. And Jeremiah is loyal to Lelouch and Nunnally. He'd be loyal to them because they are the children of Marianne. And he served her. So why would he be in favor of executing Lelouch? That was strange to me. Can anybody explain that to me below? And I did think it was funny that he wound up in an orange grove later. Orange boy picking oranges. Also, in that scene when Suzaku finally thrusts the sword through Lelouch. Oh, that scene is heavy. I've gone back and watched it a few times. And how he cries. It's like, ooh, I feel myself tearing up just thinking about it. Like, he knows he has to kill Lelouch, obviously. That's in the plan. But it doesn't mean that he didn't grieve over having to do it. The way that Lelouch puts his bloody hand over Suzaku's face, it was like they were just friends again. Despite everything that they've both been through, how they both were seemingly enemies for a while. In the end, it was like the reconciliation between them that they needed, I think that we needed as viewers. I think it was beautiful and so heart-wrenching as they're both in that moment accepting what they have to do. One, I accept this Geass to live. The other, I accept this Geass to die. So then later I did realize that it was in C's world when they realized themselves what they had to do. Later, I was telling my roommate about it. She's not into anime at all, and you may have seen her if you watched my K-pop Demon Hunters video. But I've been giving her updates along the way of what's been happening in Code Geass. She doesn't want to watch it, but she's curious about the story. And I was telling her about this. She was like cooking in the kitchen and I came down and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to tell you what happened. It's like my eyes were red from crying and she was like, tell me. And after I explained it, she was like, oh my gosh, they pulled a Dumbledore. And I was like, oh my gosh, they did. I don't think that's spoiler because if you haven't seen Harry Potter, I mean, it is a huge spoiler. But if you haven't seen Harry Potter, do I feel bad for you? Anyway, yeah. But yes, I will say one thing about the ending that bugged me, that I wish they hadn't done because I feel like it cheapened the moment, was that final scene with C2 in the wagon. You know, there's this confusion about who's driving the wagon, and she's up there in the hay with Chi-sama, and she is talking to somebody. And at the end of what she's saying, she says, isn't that right, Lelouch? And it's the inflection in her voice And the way she kind of tilts her head back, it almost sounds like she raises her voice just slightly, like she's trying to be heard and asks it as a question. All of those things make it seem like she's talking to somebody within earshot. And I felt like I felt like it cheapened the moment. We're grieving, right? As we're hearing Colin talking about the future, almost like a letter that she's writing to someone who can never read it. And I thought it was beautiful that she kept his picture on her wall, and it's a picture of him at school, not of him as Zero or him as leader of Britannia, emperor, but him as she like really actually remembers him as Lelouch. And she's narrating and telling us how the world is starting to change, and the music is just like stabbing you repeatedly in the heart. And then to cut that moment with C2, it's like maybe they meant it to be that way for you to question, like, wait a second, is he really dead? Is he alive? Where is he? Is she talking to him the way she always talked to Marianne? I thought that was strange, and I just felt like it kind of ruined it. I wish that she would have said it in a more contemplative way, more of like with a sigh in her voice and kind of like a lowering of her tone, lowering of her voice, as if she's almost like speaking to her heart or speaking to somebody who she knows won't hear her. I feel like that would have made the moment like more meaningful, but whatever. Those are my 2 cents. It's fine if you disagree. Another person pointed out, this is very, very random, that they were surprised I wasn't angrier at Nina or didn't rejoice at the fact that she was now in prison. And I'm actually surprised at how my hatred for her lessened at the end. Now, don't get me wrong, she's still awful. She's racist and creepy. And yet you realize at the end how manipulated she was, how she was a product of her environment. She was groomed by Schneisel, and she's still just a child, man. Like, yeah, she's the same age as Lelouch. Lelouch is a genius. He's this brilliant tactician, and he's supposed to be unique and different. You can't compare. And yes, Nina is, in her own way, a scientific genius. Absolutely. I mean, she creates a nuke and helps murder how many people? Anyway, but other than that, she's still just an immature, impressionable child who can't be compared to Lelouch, who is always thinking 20 steps ahead, but she can't even realize the ramifications of one move. She didn't know. She didn't realize she was being used. Again, she's still awful. But I pity her. But I really wish that we could have seen more of what happened to some of the other characters. I have so many questions about some of the other characters. Like we see in Violetta and Ogie's wedding photo. All the people who went there. One of the characters looks like Yuffie in that picture. Who is that? That didn't, like, we see Anya's there, and who's the other pink-haired girl? I couldn't figure out who that was supposed to be. And I saw Colin and Gino standing next to each other, and I thought, wonder if they ever became a thing. And then General Toto and what's her name? They were standing next to each other looking very cute, and I wonder if she ever confessed to him. One last thing I'll drop that I've been thinking about is that because everybody compares this anime with Attack on Titan, I am curious, why is it that I support Lelouch and yet I have a hard time supporting Eren? This will be spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Attack on Titan. And one point that I have pondered is that it feels like Eren never really knew what he was doing.
Blasphemy! FBI, open up!
He's become this psychotic, confused, like very mentally unstable individual who is ruled by all of the multiverses he sees. He's just like a slave to what he sees in the paths. It's like he's lost inside of it. It felt like there was no real conviction for him, just being a slave to it. Whereas Lelouch, he's not a slave to any outcome, to any future. He sees what must be done. He creates the path. He has a strong will and conviction, and he makes it happen. And he does it knowing that it's for good and literally removing any opposition that could come after he's gone. With Schneisel supporting Zero and serving him, it pretty much ensures that there will be no opposition to Nunnally ruling, which I'm assuming is what happened at the end. That doesn't happen with Eren. Eren just is doing what Ymir tells him to do. Kills a bunch of people, doesn't really know why he's doing it. He's angry, an angsty kid, and no real conviction. I know people feel very strongly about Eren and whether he did what was right or wrong, and people will say, well, yeah, the rumbling had to happen, otherwise the world will still keep persecuting them. And yet we see in the manga that the world does keep persecuting them, and there's still war, and nothing really changes. And it's very bleak. But in Code Geass, we see the world healing, changing, and set up for success. And humanity is set up for success. Don't come at me. I love Attack on Titan. I might disagree with the ending. There you have it. That's how I feel. Again, but I didn't say that I disagreed with the rumbling. I don't know what should have happened. I don't have an alternate ending that should have happened. But I don't necessarily support Eren or think that what he did was noble or right. I'm curious your thoughts. I'm curious what you guys think. I've been wrestling through that the past 2 weeks, thinking, well, why is it that I support Lelouch, but I don't support Eren in the same way? And I think that's why. Anyway, this has gotten very long. I have many minutes of me rambling here. If you got all the way, I'm impressed. I'm sure I'll have more thoughts after I finish the movie, but I just don't want to let it go yet. I don't want to say goodbye to Code Geass. Again, thank you guys so much for watching and being on this journey with me. It's been a lot of fun. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. Maybe I should say I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm not sure when this video will come out. And I will see you guys next time. Maybe with the movie. Maybe with some Demon Slayer if you want to watch that with me. Or some Evangelion. I think we're going to watch that. I need to watch some of these older classics. You guys have put some really good ideas down in the comments for what I should watch next. A lot of them are ones that I already love and have watched, and I wish that I could rewatch them for the first time. Like Bleach, for example. I love Bleach. I actually just, 2 days ago, finally finished, season 3 of the 1,000-Year Blood War arc. So good. And then I got sad realizing the next installment doesn't come out until next year. Yay. But you know what that means? I could watch that here. I already know what happens in the story, but it's just so good. Anyway, I could ramble forever, but I will let you guys go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. God bless. Okay, bye guys.